Good morning, crypto family, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin Kings channel. I am your host, Down to Crypto TA. I just want to say before we get started, and I will repeat it throughout the stream. The stream will be getting a makeover, so it will no longer be called the Coin King in a couple of weeks here, maybe sooner than that. So be on the lookout for that. I haven't quite decided just yet. I'm stuck between two new titles for the name of the stream, but I think I've narrowed it down. But I'll just wait to say what it's going to be. But it will no longer be called the Coin King channel because the Coin King doesn't do most of the streaming. I do, so um, it's time. It's time. It is time. All right. So of course over the weekend we got to move over the weekend. Traditional markets were closed yesterday. Overnight you could see that there was a gap up in SPY. So I'm going to take a look at that with you as well. Um, but Bitcoin just came back here into our line of resistance, or you could just use the VWAP again. We were talking about this, and if it were to break above here, I would be looking to take a short on it, but we did reject from it again. So that's 1, 2, 3 prior support right here, and then 1, 2, 3 rejections right here. Off of that descending trend line here from these lows from this channel structure that we had before breaking down here last weekend. All right, so that little gap above overhead is still not filled. We'll see if Bitcoin wants to reconnect with SPY. As you know, we discussed, it was heavily correlated with SPY. And then on Friday night close, um, it decoupled, or they parted ways at least momentarily, hopefully, because SPY did, like I said, SPY did gap up. So we'll check that out. Possibility for an inverse right here. Um, let's see. We are trying to hold the 20 SMA on the 4-hour time frame right through here. And this was also where we had our 786 was right here before, above value area high. If I recall this properly, yes, it's above value area high, because I remember value area high being somewhere right in here along with the 786. So that was the old 786 that we were getting to bounce off right here before we got the breakdown. So we're holding just across here in this area here. So we'll see if we can't get the breakthrough and push up. Oh my gosh. Look what the cat dragged in. Melby. Oh my gosh. Melby. Hi, Mel. I haven't. Wow. Wow. I'm shocked. It's so good to hear from you. Glad you're still doing good. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. That's a beautiful smile on my face for the start of my day. Wow, Melby. So we'll see if we can continue to hold here. And if we do, I'm looking at about 78 to, or let's just say 78 300 to the upside, which will basically be getting into that gap and taking out these highs right here. So I've been doing good, Mel. I've been doing good. Hanging in here. Everything has been good. Trading has been good. Investing has been the bomb, has been the best. Let me put it like that. When I say the bomb, it might not sound good, but it's been really, really good. Speaking of that B word I just dropped, and not Mel B. We did, the U.S. did attack Iran. We were talking about the peace deal, the taco. So we'll see if oil is going to pop up as well. So I'll be taking a look at that. They try to separate us what they can. Who would say, man? Because I'm gonna have to have a conversation with somebody. Taking my mail B away. All right, so let me zoom. Let me come over here. Let's see. Nothing too much has changed in here. Remember, when we got that drop down here, we did drop below. Yeah, I have it on. I just have this turned off. So let's see right here. So we did drop below this moving average right here, which we were back to holding it up as support. And again, like I said, you can just go with your value area high or that old 786 that we got the bounce from prior. See if we're gonna hold here and do attempt to get that push up to take out this liquidity right here above this candle right here. So I mean, Ahmad, Ahmad, I'm gonna try to say the rest of it. What's up? Marahaza. I don't know how well I did. I'm not sure. But hello to you. All right, so we're still holding up a little bit in here. We gotta continue to hold here because if we drop back down below here again, then peace, peace to us. That's that VWAP I was talking about right here. So you can either do that trend line, which the trend line is a lot cleaner than VWAP at this point. VWAP is starting to drop a little bit more. So I would go with the trend line to the upside that you've seen on the chart for Bitcoin. And again, like I said, we're trying to hold in here. Let me see about that. See if we put in any new gaps too. So no new gaps over the weekend. Just a little small common gap right there, but nothing, nothing new. I think I remember looking at this one right here prior. So we did feel that little small one there. But we still have this major one. And maybe we do come back down here and try to sweep up this liquidity. Right now, if we can just hold where we are, then we're back on point and holding above that value area high. So, SPY, we're talking about SPY on close Friday. And again, traditional markets were closed yesterday. But SPY upon close on Friday, because we were looking at this gap in here, and SPY ended up filling in the gap and got a rejection there. I was talking about here because SPY, I was like, if we open up today, we could gap down, but you can see that we bounced right away from there. So, yeah, we had not violated it. But I was thinking that if we did, of course, if we did, then Bitcoin would be in a lot more trouble. But we bounced up from it. We put in another high, and it looks like we're going to hold. I looked at a couple of things. Now, this gap up happened yesterday or last night, overnight trading. The gap up happened, and we just kind of chilled throughout the recent hours. It is bearish divergence, but I mean, we're really just not getting a lot of weakness out of SPY. So watch this. Let's see. Rejected from the 1-to-1 the last time. So if I put that extension back on, let me see. Yeah, we're well above the 1-to-1 at this point. Let's see what I have on. Yeah, we're well above the 1-to-1. And since this pullback right here, let me see how steep this pullback was, because if it wasn't that steep, then it could be an extension, and I just drop a new fib in here. Let me see where I would have to pull this from. Let me go to a 4 hour. Mhm. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to do that because I'd already marked out some stuff in here. I forgot about that. So we do have this ascending trend line right here that we could see some reaction from if SPY continues to push higher. Let me just check back down here again. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, everything still looks good on a 4 hour time frame. So we could look at this trend line right here, and I could have sworn that I had another area in here marked out as a resistance level, extension level of resistance. All of that's below price action. Um, hmm. I just knew I did, but it turns out that it looks like I don't. Looks like I don't. But as far as this trend line right here is concerned, that's coming from here across these lows, connecting all the way through here. There's also another, yeah. That's it right there. So this just connects all the way up through there. It should act as some sort of a barrier, even if we do break it a little bit and then drop back below it. But there's absolutely no real weakness in SPY. I've explored this thing throughout the higher time frames and I just can't find it. So yeah, very shallow pullback there. That's about all we got. So if Bitcoin connects back up with this, then I would be looking for those highs to be taken and get in the field last weekend's CME gap. Same thing I'm seeing over here for NVIDIA. We were looking at this pattern formation right here on NVIDIA, down around the 382, 50% retracement. It was coming into the ascending trend line down through here, never fully tapped into it. And we gapped up and we're getting the bouncing here. Socks also another big play. So markets are coming in hot today. How much how much impact oh, I don't want to see that. Um how much impact the strike is going to have. I mean, really it really hasn't had any bearings on price action whatsoever. This is oil right now. Yeah. I'm actually looking for oil to bounce up from here. Um, maybe just coming back up into these lows right here for the time being. But it does look like we're gonna get a bigger move to the upside, not just because of the strike, but it looks like it's trying to reverse in here anyway. And I guess everything is just moved together. I suppose everything is just going to move together. Oh, let me tell you about this right here. So I explained to you about virtuals for myself personally when Bitcoin was getting the aggressive sell-off. Before we got that bounce, I was in the virtual long, and I shared with you guys about the inverse head and shoulders looking like it was going to be a good move. I like the 4 hour time frame, but when Bitcoin started selling off, and I was looking at this because virtuals was moving very close to Bitcoin, it has finally broken away. I told you that I exited my long position because I didn't want to take the risk of not knowing over the weekend with the low liquidity, yada yada yada, if it was going to hold up. And I couldn't sit through that. The last time when I actually when I entered it, I let price action move against me a little bit, and I said if we lost this right here then I would be out. Well, of course we ended up bouncing from here again, and so now it looks like Virtuals is outperforming Bitcoin. So virtual versus BTC is looking really, really good. It'll probably go on and just hit the target. I'm more than sure it is going to go on and hit the target way without me. So looking pretty good for anybody who's still holding on in here to virtuals. The only other trade that I took that I shared with you was the triple V's. I was shorting the V's, and I shorted the V's from over here. Talked about the fact that it was trying to get this curve, was trying to get this pump to the upside. If you were in it, to go ahead and take some profits from it. I did not take any profits from the V's. I did share that with you that I had not taken any profits yet, even though I can see we were trying to come back up, and that if it just stopped me out, then it would just stop me out at break even. But I would re-enter the position if we took out my high over here. So we did take out not that one. So we did end up taking out the high over here, and I re-entered on this candle right here. Well, guess what? I was working over the weekend, and I got flicked out from this little wick right here because I put my stop loss relatively close. Because the weekend, anything can happen, and it's just really not a great idea to trade on the weekends, to be honest with you. But I ended up getting wicked out. A little small push up just took me out of the trade after jumping back into it. And then of course it starts to do what it rolls down, and then it takes out the low right here. But this is the actual low that I'm still looking for price action to take out, just because it's the bearish divergence, like tons of bearish divergence in here for the V's right now. So I would not be looking to long this whatsoever. From a higher time frame perspective, it just looks like garbage. It looks like garbage all over here. And like this thing, I'm expecting for it to really roll over. So I would have made another attempt here. I just couldn't. Happy oh, salamat. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, so I would not be trying to long this thing. The pump has happened for this thing right here, and everything else has just been strong bearish divergence, strong bearish divergence. This is last minute FOMO if anybody's in here trying to long this thing, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. You look at it here on the daily time frame. Oh, I got lines and stuff everywhere. I need to get rid of some of those lines. Let me just hide the drawing stuff. Oh, not that part. Let me hide the drawings. Let me drop that. But you can see, like, look at this. Look at this. So I was thinking that was the final wave, which is why I started trying to short it. It has to be the final wave in my opinion, and you're going to see that ABC correction, which a lot of times I be looking for this low right here to be taken out. So I'm going to hate not being in this short. I'm really going to hate not being in this short, but I got flicked out by this wick. It didn't make sense to me. We're talking about how, this aggressive selling candle right here. And I'm like, if we come back up, I'm shorting again. And I did. But it went a little bit higher, and I wasn't on the daily time frame looking at it. I was zoomed in. Like it didn't make sense for us to come back and recover this, but the weekend to give you anything, just like over here, like that was, yeah. Should have kept going like that. Should have, but we didn't. We didn't. And then I noticed here also. Well, this is Zcash. We'd already talked about Zcash, but over the weekend, again, this is another one that started with the shenanigans because, in my opinion, Zcash is rolling over, and of course, Hyperliquid. I hope it didn't top out because I was looking for it to get to the 618, the golden pocket div extension, but double top here on ZEC. So again, on the continuation to the downside, once it's done doing once it's done doing this stuff right here, hold on, let's see. Let's see what we're doing. Let me see how much we've actually dropped on this. Okay. Uh, it's pretty shallow. I remember that we were somewhere around the 50% retracement, and we had broke it ever so slightly beforehand. Where's it at? Yeah, right here. I remember we were somewhere down here around that. So let's be on the lookout for, I would say, at least this 786 here for Zcash throughout today. I know that I'm still looking for price action to get down here to about 450 to 404, because that would be the general target. But at least throughout today, we should see price action coming into this 786. We get away from this trend line. We're not trying to bounce off of this trend line. I don't think that there was anything in here. Yeah, we are moving a little bit fast with that momentum, though. A little bit, slightly. So 27. Let's see what happened right there. Yeah, we're actually, all right, first of all, let me see if we got a squeeze, because otherwise it is going to hold up right here. We don't. Yeah, because of the speed of our momentum resetting, it looks like it might hold in here, and we'll just see it bounce around a little bit more. So just allow for that to take place. As long as it's not taking out this high, which I don't see it taking out that high, but we are more than likely going to bounce away from here and then put in a lower high, and then I look for us to finally get the drop to the downside. Some sort of a wedging structure is building in here right now with this consolidation for Zcash. All right, and this was the setup here for Hyperliquid. After we hit the top up there, we started looking for a breakdown or a swing fail, which it wasn't a swing fail, of course. It was a closure, and then price action got the little bit of a retracement down here into the zone, which was 382 bounce. Was looking for it to actually hold here. So mapped out in advance, but we haven't made our way up here, which again is simply the golden pocket 786 fib extension target here. It doesn't have to get all the way up here. It's very common for it to reach this target right here. So no violation yet here on Hyperliquid. I would continue to look for that continuation up there. Yep, absolutely continuation up there. Ooh, it was just a little bit too late. Too late coming on stream. for this part right here. So you can see again how momentum is speedy, resetting really quick prior to price action. What line did I have through here? Oh, that was just where we bounced from the last couple of times, but you can see that right here. So yeah, looks like we'll be getting in there today. This is all I'm looking for. So I am stopping it out here at the golden pocket fib extension. And if you don't know how to pull that, did you buy high and sell low again? What? Melby. Yeah, yeah. It was a quick. It was look, Mel. I had to re-enter that short on them V's though, because the V's they look messy. It looks really, really, really messy. Anybody who's not shorting that, oof. That was my second short, so I couldn't do it again. I couldn't do it again, and I didn't take profits the first time, which you should have taught me better about taking my money. Because I was up over 50% at least. I just did a little 20x short on it and gave it back. But not looking shabby here for Hyperliquid, looking for that continuation up. Oh, I was about to say, if you don't know how to pull that, you're gonna go from your wave one. If we didn't top out here on that 5, and I'm assuming that we didn't, from what I could see, to your 3, to your 4, and then let me switch this up. And then you have your golden pocket 786 right here. So that's what I'm looking for. Price action to push into that. You can see the price target on that is about 69. If it pushes up higher, then I would be looking for 75, or 74. But here about 69 to 70 bucks there for Hyperliquid. And where is that thing at? Let me check on AVAX. I'm gonna have to push out on the weekly time frame. All right. Still looking good. I covered with you one time already about the failed breakout that we were trying to get right here. Not as successful as it was back here or over in here. Even this one right here, that one was successful too. But yeah, we're failing on the breakout. We failed on a couple of them, so it could be a nothing burger. That was just the first attempt. Still looking for this to get the break to the upside. Still holding the AVAX leverage long, only a 3x on this because it's very early stages in here. So hopefully, and let me see if I have. I actually do not. Interesting. 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 I'm gonna do the Binance chart. Yeah. Yeah, versus Bitcoin right now, not looking so good. Let me look at it from a daily. Yeah. Yep, versus Bitcoin not looking so good just yet. So we're not there yet. Let me add this in here so I can check back on it later. Oh, but how has it been? It's coming though. It's coming. So if you haven't taken a position on AVAX yet, not financial advice, I just say this one is a good one. I talked about it looks like it's about to break out against Bitcoin too. I talked about this one when we were on the support line. I entered down there on that support line. I think it's a strong contender. It's the only one out of the other ones that I shared with you that I recently took entered a buy position on down in here. So I think you're gonna miss out on this one if you're not in it. It looks really nice. Looks really nice. One I haven't really got into that's doing really well is near. No, not H bar. Near is near. Oh, we really pushing through these. Hmm. Wow. Just wow. So it looks like we're still in wave three on this one right here. Still got wave four and five, or wave five to go. So this is looking stellar. This is looking stellar. Let me see which resistance level that is. I thought we were gonna have some problems right in here initially, but it seems that we didn't. Where I dashed it out at. Let's see what that is. I suppose if near is going to see any sort of resistance in here, even where we're at doesn't look too bad right in there. But you can see right here, across these highs right here, and also right in here, we seem to have had a problem here before. Let me do it. Let me do that. But right through here. So that's around a 3.1618. Well, I said 1618. 3.618. Right here, since this is a three. Yeah, so it'll be somewhere around $3, somewhere right around in here. Near might start to buckle a little bit in here for a consolidation, and then I would look for a continuation. So if we're continuing up, final target I would say would be somewhere in here around 380 um, for near. For starters, I mean it could want to do something like back here, but if we're not in that, if we're not in that camp, I would be looking for it to at least make its way up here to about 380 altogether. Uh, I'm gonna take that away. But yeah, so maybe we see again some consolidation right around through here for a pullback, and then somewhere into here into these lows right here. So if let me see, just say if we get into here, this is not going to be on point. We'll put it there. That would be a bigger cool off, in my opinion. And then if we did that, and I think I took it off of this low right here. Won't he do it? We'll see how that works. It will end up looking something like that. Yeah, it would end up looking something like that if near gets to push into here. If not, we'll just have to come back in here and reset this predictive move in here for near. Let me see what it looks like on here. Oh yeah, still expanding. So this looks really nice. This is on the weekly time frame. Let me drop on the daily. Yep, it's still expanding here on the daily as well. So getting close to that. Getting close to these highs right through here. Sorry, give me just a minute. I just want to move some stuff out some. Yeah, definitely the wave three. Definitely the wave three. Huh. Yep, that's what I see here for near. And I know that near versus Bitcoin is looking absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, this thing is killing it. It looks beautiful. Really don't like that. But we do have this gap through here, so um, this looks really good. It's good to get above this high right here and then probably have a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit right there. Just wanted to see what this was looking like at the time. Mm. Doesn't look as good as, that doesn't look as good as AVAX. And that was AVAX against Bitcoin. So I think AVAX is going to do way better when it does get a chance to pop out. Yeah. Let's see what else is. Oh, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is back up there. Here it comes. Here it comes, people. Here it comes. Here it comes. For that possible inverse to take out that liquidity here at the highs. Let me check back over here and see. See oil. Let's see here. As spies continue to get that boost up, I really don't want to use the you can still use that VWAP. I think that was this VWAP right here. I think that's this one. Yeah. But I prefer this trend line right here because once we get through here, then we've broken the momentum to the downside or this barrier of resistance once we can get through there to take out this liquidity right through here. And again, I think that that's going to be somewhere about 78.3. I can see that on that 4 hour, that momentum is rising as we are getting that push to the upside, though. So it might extend a little bit more than that 78.3, but it's somewhere right there in the vicinity of taking this liquidity in here. Was that a? I think I just missed the strat too, the Bollinger Band strat. I think I just missed it right over here. It looks like we might have had it right here, and I wasn't paying attention. Yep, I just missed the strategy. Just missed it. I looked down at my other screen and I was like, did I just miss it? Because you know the Bollinger Band breakout strategy is right here. Right here. CC at the top. If you're looking for an upside breakout, at the top, at the mean, and then it breaks to the upside just like that. So just missed it as I was looking at some other stuff. But I am long from the I did not want to take that position. I'm telling you, I thought that this position was just going to be a quick scalp. I didn't think that Bitcoin was going to get up here this high because I mentioned it and it did. I wasn't thinking we were coming back to VWAP or coming back to this ascending trend line. I thought, okay, we get a little bounce because we didn't have any bullish divergence on the chart. I was skeptical about how price action was performing down here because we did break, which is fine. It was more than just a break. Like we accelerated down past the support level right here, and then we had to get back into it. So, which was also was a high volume node that we were looking at on the chart as well. So I played the strategy. I told you I played the Bollinger strategy, the one that I just missed. right in here because we were right here. On the blow fin chart, this little doji candle coming in too. And we were right here at the mean here, and we were right here on the CC. And I played the strategy for the break to the upside, not expecting for it to push up as much as it did. And so I'm still holding on to that. But yeah, I told you I felt like this was shenanigans over the weekend, shenanigans. And again, this is just the 786, that old 786 retracement that we're holding up on this side right here. And that was coming from this pull right here. Hold on, let me get that back. And that was before we got that big sell off. So you can see that that's what I was referring to when I was talking about the old 786 back here before we got that initial push up into here, and then that aggressive move down there, and just didn't put in any bullish divergence. So it's kind of weird. So I wasn't expecting for price action to come back up here to this top. Just got lucky with that one. Do you use stop losses on every trade? No. That's terrible. I use it on most trades. On most trades, if I'm feeling really cocky, I might miss that stop. I might not add that stop loss if I'm feeling really cocky. Um, but most trades I do. If I didn't use a stop loss, I'd still be in them triple V's making some money. I'm not taking this short. I'm not taking this short. And my reason for not taking this because I expect for us to come up and take that liquidity, and so there's no need in me taking the short. It's worked a few times, but you got to think about the fact that price action keeps coming back up here and it keeps hammering at that top. And if it keeps hammering at that top, then it's going to break it. So that's why I'm not taking the short. Yep. And just be taking on risks that I don't need to take on right now. Um, Maybe if it carves out a ceiling, it's a little bit better. But that move up right here back into this resistance, it's not as choppy as it was over here either. Let me see. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. That looks pretty decent. I don't know why the V's on the 15-minute is doing the same thing right now. I just noticed that. Yep, and get up here and take out. We're already gotten back above our previous day low, previous day highs right here. And then that'll just be a continuation from that daily time frame. Uh, That's 78.2 right here. And I'm gonna add this wick, wickety wick right here. Actually, I don't need to be on that wick. Let's be right here. Yeah, be like that. Right there. So that's directly back at our low. Directly back at that low. Baby steps. 4 hour sets we can get in here. I missed you too, like the volunteer. I did. You know what? Bitcoin gets boring, or it has been getting boring early in the mornings here for the past several weeks. So I go on to talk about something else, and it's like every time I decide I want to talk about something else, that's when it happens. But I wouldn't have entered anyway, to be honest with you, because I'm already in the long position. Um, yeah, I'm already still holding on to a portion of that long position from the weekend. So I'm not gonna re-enter on anything here. Definitely not gonna take no short right now. But if it does start to consolidate, maybe, but they keep attacking it, so I know they're gonna break it. They're going to break it. And if we get back on the bandwagon with Spy, then we going higher. Let's see. Little bit of divergence. Just a little bit. All right, I think I'm gonna look away from Bitcoin for a second. Let's see. Um, there are two really good new IPOs to consider. I bought this asset called Bullish on Friday. It was, I think it was Friday. I picked up Bullish. The Coin King was talking to me about it, and I know that Kathy was taking a position in it. I said to myself that I wasn't going to take another position in anything crypto related in the stock market. Like I'm doing crypto, that's fine. If it's in the stock market, I don't need to double down on more crypto stuff. So, and I'm getting low on buying stuff, on funds to keep buying stuff. So I sold that this morning. Um, Prior to market open, I went ahead and sold it. And I'm gonna end up buying. Um, I got a couple of other things that I'm looking at in here. Dang, has it popped up like that already? Don't tell me it's already popped up. Hold on. Before. No, I don't have it in here. Yeah, I don't have it over here. I must have avoided adding it in here. Let me make sure. Make sure I didn't add it in here. No, I didn't add it in here. But these are all some stocks I got to go through. I was building up a list over the weekend, some things to take a look at. But the stock that I'm referring to is FRVO. So it is it's new on the market. It IPO on May 13th. So just this month, it IPO'd. They raised about 1.89 billion in capital, and they IPO'd at about roughly between 7 and 8 billion, or 7.6 to 7.7 billion, something like that. And they surged about a good 5%. But the stock, let me put this back over here to read Bitcoin so it'd be easier for me to get to it while I talk about something else while that's because it's almost 7 o'clock anyway. I had to start splitting hairs. So FRVO, Vervo Energy Company right here. I'm gonna put it on a chart that looks a lot friendlier, so you're not seeing all of those little yeah. This is the chart right here. So I haven't done not a lot. There's not much you can do on this chart in terms of analysis. Fundamentals, sure, but in terms of analysis, there's really just not a lot to look at with this. But I'm gonna pick this up today. I'm gonna give market time to open, and then I'm gonna make a buy on this one right here. But you can see over here, it had already respected this first high in here. I think that this one right here, I mean, just like the other one I'm gonna tell you about, they haven't really generated any revenue for the business just yet. Um, but it's about AI electricity demand. So, and I think that they're not using volcanic energy either. They're using something. What is it? I can't remember. How they're producing the energy, but this is going to be a good one. This is going to be, and it's already. Yeah, don't do that. Don't start that. I'm going to buy you today. I want to buy it higher. Oh, I'm not going to FOMO. I'm going to wait until market opens because I want to see how it reacts when market opens. So I'm looking for it to stay steady. Now, this is going to be a good one right here. FRVO. I like this one. I really think that I think this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. So geothermal energy developer. Yeah. There's like three other ones, but there's only two that really stands out. The other one is going to be a competitor to Nvidia. So it's going to be and they're totally different from Nvidia too, because Nvidia uses a lot of microchips, and they don't. They don't use a lot of microchips, and they're going to be cheaper. The company was growing at such a speedy rate. So I know this one's going to end up being a good one as well. Um, I've looked at the financial report, the one that they had to file with this SEC, as well on this one. Not FRVO. I did look at FRV. Did I look at FRVOs? Yeah, I looked at FRVOs too, which isn't bad at all. So I really like FRVO for my starter buy. And then the other one, they use a wafer scale engine. Let me see. I cannot believe that I closed out my window too for that report that they filed. But their business has been growing really, really fast. They're not profitable though, um, in terms of. Hold on, let me see. And they explain all of that in their SEC filing as well. But I think they just recently got some backing from AW. Hold on, I did so much stuff. Let me see. CBRS. So it's Cerebrus right here. Um, Now this one IPO'd at 185 bucks, and it ran up really, really fast off of the hype. It ran up really, really fast. Now this has been the largest IPO um, for 2026 thus far, at least until SpaceX. But this has been the largest IPO right here. They IPO'd as big as, you remember Snow, which I recently bought some Snow. I shared that with you. Like this, uh, yes, the largest IPO of 2026 thus far has been this one right here, Cerebrus. It's um, a lot of hopium around this one. So I would like to see this one come down a little bit more. I'm not interested in buying it at current prices. I mean, it has come down a lot from where it was. It's closer to that 185 at this point than when it got this move and all this stuff in here. But they'd only had like one large buyer, and that was a little bit concerning. But the company, like their business wise, as far as what the revenue and what they hold is something different. What they're able to keep after that is something different. But this company has done really, really well. So if I can get it for less, then yeah, I'm gonna buy this one. Um, I'm trying to see. I got a lot of notes in here. Um, but these are two I really want you to keep your eyes on. Um, they're going to be some massive hits. Some massive hits. Hopefully they are anyway. Hopefully they are anyway. Um, but yeah, like I said, the biggest tech IPO since Snowflake in 2020. And mm, who were they? Trying to see. And I need to add a highlighter because I got to scroll through a lot of stuff just to. It's not that big of a deal right now because I'm gonna come back and do full um full review on this one, and also bring in those their financial reporting as well to take a look at that. Yeah. So they initially discussed their IPO price was initially about 115 to 125. Then it got raised to 150, out to about 160, and then finally it priced at 185. IPO, like I said, massive, 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 massive. They raised somewhere between about $5 to $6.5 billion, like crazy. Crazy. And this is going to be a great company right here as well. So look out for that. Cerebrus and Fervo. I really like this one. I mean I really, if I don't know, when something feels that way to me, it works. When something feels that way to me, I feel that way with this one. So yeah, looking delicious. Looking absolutely delicious. I feel like I need to. Good morning, One Crypto YT. Good morning. We had a little Bollinger's breakout here. I think we're gonna take out that liquidity on Bitcoin. I do think we're gonna take out that liquidity at the highs that we keep hammering away at. Give me just a minute, guys. Let me see if I even can right now because I said I wasn't gonna FOMO. I said that, but I sold that bullish just so I can come over here and get Furbo. I did sell it for that reason, just so I can jump over here and buy this thing on thing. Yeah, I love this chart. I love that chart. I love it. Let me look back at Bitcoin real quick here. All right, just our little reaction right there. Um, Everybody's been talking a lot about quantum computing, and um, mm, it's doing well. It's doing well. A lot of the talk is basically because you know the government bought some. It put quite a bit of money into it. I looked at that report as well to see. I actually did download. Actually, it wasn't a download I did. I closed out that window already. God dang it! I'm gonna have to do too much to go back and uh, find exactly where I need to be at on that paperwork. So I'm not gonna even try it. I'm just not gonna even try it because it's gonna be too much for me to go back and do all that. Uh, but I was looking at. Oh, speaking of which, let me see how now it's doing this morning. I didn't look at that one. Did I move now? Did I move it? Where are you at? I didn't. I still got it sitting all the way down here. All right. So It's ever since we got up here and hit that 110, it's been a little bit rough in here for now, but I expect for this one right here to continue onwards and upwards. Look at SanDisk. Nice little flaggy flag right there on SanDisk. CRM, Adobe, and like crap. Snow though. Snow, keep snowing. Help me build a snowman. I just wanted to see what now was looking like. The only other thing in here, I'm in a call. I'm in a call on where is it at? On Celsius. So I'm in a call on Celsius. See Bitcoin getting that little reaction in there and see if it keeps dancing around right there. If anything, the reaction is coming from the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin right now, not necessarily the not necessarily the 1 hour. Um, 1 hour still seems to be decent. We have been struggling a little bit getting back into here on Celsius, but I think the next place it probably is going to have a little bit of a battle with is going to be about 31.44, and then there's a gap in here to be filled. So I think I was looking at a reclaim right there. Let me see if that was what I was looking at. Where's maybe I turned it off. Let me see what my settings look like. Uh, Hold on. No, it's extended. Okay. Yeah. So that gap right in here, it might see a little bit of a struggle right in here, but I'm expecting for it to at least push in to here. You can see where I got reclaim at 35.22. I'm expecting for that at least. But for my call, um, for my call is a $30 strike. So it's only a 1 month. It's a 1 month call. So you can see we've been hanging out right through here. I was trying to do Nike initially. I was trying to do my call on Nike, but I ended up just buying some more shares personally. But I was trying to jump into Nike at the 42 call, and just got slowed down a little bit trying to jump into it right before I missed it, and it was like, I gotta add more money now. No, can't do it at this point. So then I decided to go ahead and do Celsius instead. But Nike's looking really, really nice in here so far. I mean, this looks like trash overall. The chart, it's been garbage overall. But it could have been the lows. It could have been. I'm not saying this is about the moonshot to the upside, like right away. It probably will consolidate a little more. There's always, room for it to continue down. But yeah, I tried to take that $42 um, strike on this thing. It would have been perfect too. But I picked up the little shares that I could pick up from it. Let me see my. I said it's just a little 15-minute reaction. We could see that from earlier when I opened it up. It's gonna be a little 15-minute reaction, but they're hammering at this too much for it to not break up there. It would be bad business if it didn't work out. I FOMO'd into and I bought some furlough. Oh, Furbo is going to be a long term hold. It's going to be a long term hold because they just, like I said, they recently IPO'd this month. Like this month, they IPO'd. So I'm going to be holding this one for a while. Hopefully, accumulating a bit more on this one. But it looks really nice. It looks really nice. It will be demand. The company, yeah. When I went through the financials on the company, like I said, they're not generating the revenue just yet, and investors understand that. Like investors understand that. So all you have is speculation to go off with them. Um, all you have is the speculation. But I'm get it now because that's a good one. That is really gonna be a good one. So I can't wait to really, really dive into it. I wasn't prepared for it today, but I can't really wait to dive into it. I wasn't gonna even bring them up today, um, because I was waiting until I switched over the show and everything. Which Why Crypto YT, the show name is gonna end up changing here soon. Because I told the Coin King about that yesterday. Like, I'm streaming all the time on your channel, and um, it's called the Coin King, and I'm really the only person in here streaming, so um, it needs to be updated. Again, 78, around 78.3, this is 78.2 right here. That's what I think price action is going to at least get in here, take out this liquidity in here, take out this liquidity right here. So about 78.3 is what the 4-hour time frame shows. And if it does push up a little bit more, I'll be looking for that additional liquidity back into this resistance level right here at that 78.3, 338.61. That was a good resistance level before. It was resistance and then it flipped into support. So somewhere right along in there, that additional VWAP probably lands somewhere in there as well. Let me see. I know I have it over here. Yeah, 78.9. Yeah, that VWAP comes in right in here. That secondary VWAP comes in right there. So that's what I'm watching for that 4-hour time frame. Right now, again, just a little reactions from the 15-minute time frame after that little squeeze breakout that took place right here. Uh, Momentum still looks like it continues with the 1 hour, 4 hour daily time frame is all right. It's all right now. I recall my original thesis over the weekend was that the daily would be sometime like in the middle of the week. I was leaning towards Wednesday, Thursday for you see a meaningful push on that daily time frame. Has some slight bearish divergence on the daily. With something else that I'm looking at, we do have some slight divergence on the daily. But again, I think the daily is going to be somewhere between, again, tomorrow and Thursday. Those are going to be the 2 days we have for that daily time frame to put in some work. You can see the slight, very, very exaggerated right in here, but we are putting in some slight bear divs. You can see it down here a lot better right through here. Do we have a squeeze on the 1 hour? Because if we do, we could be. We might be on the verge of one over here on the 1 hour as well. This pullback could lead to that. So if we see that, it it's too far away for how I play that breakout strategy. It's too far away up here. Like it's yeah, it should be a little bit closer. It should be around the center. Um, and I can see this rising up. So we'll see. It could be on the verge of that. Oh, I was gonna go in here and pull up. When I went back through to look at Trump's filings for all the stocks that they've purchased, like you got hundreds of sheets, like at least 300 pages. The ones that really stood out were the ones where they put a little bit more capital into it, and this is not from the government side, which is why you see things from the government side like cybersecurity and quantum pumping, because that's from government investments. But in terms of Trump, what Trump has been picking up, and I say Trump, I'm referring to the family, I suppose, the family. Uh, where are my pictures? It might be too large for me to open it. No, it wasn't. Surprise, it wasn't. What really, the only ones I really tried to capture in here were the ones where they put at least a meal to about 5 mil on it in here. And you can see why Service Now was actually one of those to pump. Adobe, I don't know why they bought Adobe, but SAS is trying to pick back up. You can see Service Now right through here, and this is around like the date on here though is the thing. Like that's 2/10/2026 right here on the date. So wasn't paying attention to any of that when I was talking about ServiceNow, because I wasn't talking about ServiceNow in February. But you can see it. But these are some of the ones that he had to do in the filing. This looks absolutely crappy. The clarity on this right here looks absolutely crappy. So my bad on that. But any of all the ones where they at least been about 1 to 5 on it are the ones that these are the only sheets I took, because like I said, it's about 300 sheets worth of purchases. 300 sheets. And a lot of this isn't really going to make a difference whatsoever. And this is just the first sheet. Let's see how much stuff is on this first sheet right here already. And then the second one only had a few things on it that mattered. Only a few things over here, actually. Only a few. And then you can see where the purchase amount or money spent, it declines through here. So anything between 500,000 to a mil, I'm not paying attention to any of that. But this was the only ones that were left over here. on that. The government filing, it was so many paper, so many documents to download on that one, and I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't even take the time to like screenshot any of that. It's just a lot of information from that government filing one as well. In fact, that pick of the week that I had in here, um, this stuff isn't really coming from it, but there's some stuff to look at. Some companies that had fallen off the radar a little bit. I'm just gonna pop through these real quick. I'm gonna put it on the weekly time frame because some of these are gonna be a scary thought. Some of these are gonna be a really scary thought to want to consider. Um, so I'm just gonna pop through the charts. I'm not really gonna cover a lot on them. I'm gonna wait to really talk about them. But these are gonna be some companies. If yeah, risky. I think these are all down below their 52 week. Yeah, below their 52 week. These are some good ones that are below their 52 week. I was looking for this one right here. I was looking at this one. This one right here wasn't so bad. This one is not so bad. Booking Holdings is not that bad. It's not that shabby. But I got to go through a lot of different stuff on all of these charts, which I did very little over the weekend because it was just a ton of, like some of these I didn't even touch, period, as you can tell. Main Street Capital. Yeah, some of them are going to be a really, really scary thought. Really scary thought. But they're decent. They're decent. Yeah. I'm not buying anything that costs that much. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Micron is. If you don't know any of the other ones, you definitely know what Micron is. These are not things that I'm interested in getting right now. I'm still analyzing these over here. The only thing I'm interested in getting into is FRVO right now. But these are ones that I'm just analyzing at the moment because they do have a very strong use case, even though some of them are looking terrible as crap, with the exception of Micron. Oh, look at near. We're getting that. Shoot, might get there before I end the stream today. Look at that. It's already almost up here. Wow. Need to move this one up on the list so I don't have to look all the way down here to get to it. So I'm gonna push it up since it's performing just as good as some of these in here. We'll put it under virtuals. Which ended up doing, ooh, don't it just make you sick? It makes me sick. Makes me sick that I chose. I I wasn't playing around. I'm sorry. I wasn't playing around with my money when it came back. I didn't even I honestly didn't pay attention to it dropping back into this trend line. None of that stuff. When I saw Bitcoin falling off earlier during the weekend or Friday, I said, nope, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel it now. I had just made that money off of Zcash, and I was like, I'm not, I'm looking to compound that money that I took from Zcash, and I rolled it over into virtuals, and it was looking good for a minute. And then that Friday happened, and it was like, nah, I'm not about to get that money back. So I closed out, and then, whoo, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Look at it going on without me. Going on without me. Man, sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm really sick on that one. Oh, let me check link. I heard some people are hating on link, but link, if you ask me, like you must not have knew where to. I don't know. There's been a little bit of hate on link. A little bit of hate on link. And I think we floored on link also. Unless I'm just not on the right chart to see it. No, we didn't floor on it. We didn't floor on it. But give it a minute. It'll figure it out. Looks like a lot like Bitcoin. Weekly over here. But a weekly time frame still looks nice for Link, even though it had the attempted breakout right here and failed, just like the rest of them. Just like the rest of them did that. But it's coming. It's coming. But virtuals. I could have sworn I had something in here on this. Um, I know we had covered costs. At least I thought we did. And you can see how all of them had that attempt and then they failed. Which, speaking of which, I could take a look back at Bitcoin dominance. I haven't really taken a look at total. I haven't taken a look at total in several months. I know we talked about that. I'm gonna move this one up because this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I'll put it right above Sui. That one's gonna happen for sure. I hate sound like that for sure. Anything can happen. But where's PayPay? It's probably down here somewhere. These ones, I just won't mess with these even when Zcash is doing good. I just don't attempt with those right there. With somebody else. I think that was it. Uh, I know we were talking about PayPay and Polkadot and Aave, not Aave, but AVAX and no, what's that other one? Dang, I got it in my portfolio too. Algo. Algorand. Algo. I don't have. Where's Algo? I know it has started struggling. Yeah. But Algorand. It's at the place though. It's getting there. Hopefully it gets there. I think Algo had already broken the squeeze through here. I think it did, and then it had the little failure after it pushed into the mean. But if quantum is doing well, and this, sometimes they will tag along since this one is quantum resistant, whatever they have factored into it, if that makes sense. It's just waiting to finish popping off in here on Algo because quantum is definitely moving right now. Let's see how long that hype lasts. Everybody's talking about quantum though. Quantum is it's speculative. It's like Bitcoin in the early days. But yeah, Algo. I'll move this one up. I'll put it under Sui. Bitcoin's still in the same spot. So I look at it on. I'll go with it right here. See what the struggle is. if it's gonna have its moment, it's trying to come into it, which I think it is. And let's see, it was just the end of last year. Back in here, that one time right there. The rest of the time, it's been a crapshoot. That's the only one other time aside from here and here. That's one, two, three, four times. I'm gonna have to wait and see it actually do it though. Four times that it's actually been above that zero line. So it's trying to get there. A few knots. That's one time right here where it got above it, right here. Um, and then there was this time over here. And when it hangs around too close to it, like the breakout of star, then I mean, if you were trying to move on this time frame, that was one time right there. This was more of a failed account over here, in my opinion. Just looking at it, looked like it failed pretty harshly right there. And then that's the other time right here where it seen the explosion out against BTC right there. So if it's coming, I guess it's coming soon. That's the 50. You can see the breakout right through here from that. Try it again right there. So it's squeezing right here anyway. And then you see these little green lines that keep popping out. Yeah, so when it does get that move, it'll happen just as fast as it happened over here. It look like it coming into it too. Let's see what the squeeze look like. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Been holding on to the 20 SMA. We've had a little wick over here, but for the most part, been holding on to the 20 SMA. Trying. I wait for it to come back up here again. Once it gets somewhere a little bit closer, then I'll look back at it. I bought some, not recently, so I'm in the hole on that one. Do I have this in here against BTC? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Bitcoin with the little doji candle on the 15-minute time frame again, continuing to hold right here on the 15-minute with the doji candle or the indecision, not necessarily a doji. Well, yeah, um, with the indecision right here. So I think that the 1 hour looks fine. Rejection off of the standard one on the 4 hour time frame, but standard two is nothing to get hit up here. It's easy to get hit up there. What the name going to be? Oh, the name of the show is probably going to be GOAT. Goat Media. It's probably going to be it. And I'm not calling myself a goat. But it's not greatest of all time. It's greatest of all traders. So GOAT. I'm not calling myself that either. To be clear, to be clear. But Goat Media. Nah. Yeah. I want it to be something. I don't want to sound too I don't know. Um Boring, I guess. I don't know. Um there is one other option if I choose to go with it. Since I will be bringing in a lot more data aside from technical analysis, fundamentals, looking at a whole bunch of different reports, going over some news and things like that. Um, I will be bringing more information into the stream, especially when it comes to investing. So the other option, I was leaning into the alpha report since it'd be more information based. Uh, not just looking at a chart, looking at technicals. Period. Just a lot more informational based. So the alpha report is the alternative. And just know it can't be the Coin King anymore. It cannot remain as the Coin King. These Charting and Trading Academy. Do two channels. Do two channels. That's an option too. It is. That is an option too. I thought about that because oh, earnings. That is an option too. While crypto YT. So if anybody has any names that they can come up with, that'd be great. Break out the reporting channel. Daily brief, 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, I like the ideas. Daily brief, 15 to 30 minutes. Because I know crypto it won't be a lot of fundamentals to go over with crypto. If anything, Bitcoin will probably be the only thing where you can pick up some additional information off of. But the rest of them, you're just not gonna just I'm just not gonna be able to. It's not going to be relevant to me anyway. There's nothing that, in the crypto space, there's nothing that has to be reported or anything like that. But at least with Bitcoin, like I said, you can get more information off of Bitcoin, which so the two channel situation is something that I was weighing heavily. And then I decided, okay, well, let me just find one main name to get rid of the Coin King as the main channel name. And then have two different segments. You know, one where it's just Bitcoin, and maybe look at some of the altcoins in there if it's something worth talking about, some opportunities there. but for the most part, it's just a lot more interest right now and a lot more information, a lot more money to be made right now, if you're investing. So I really, you know, that's a big deal. And do some options, some options trading. I don't want to do too much where people are risking capital though, but definitely some options trading. I'm into forex too, which I probably won't cover a whole lot of forex, but I am into forex as well. Um, but have you seen GPY? JPY? Have you seen JPY? Let me put it on a 4 hour. No, let me put it on it. Yeah, I'll put it over here. Like this has been a big catcher on just down here where it. Hold on, let me put it on a chart a little bit. Yeah, here we go. Right here on JPY down through here. Now, if only I haven't traded currencies a lot, but I used to post on currencies quite a bit back in the day, and I haven't done that in a long time. But I am into forex as well. Um, this is looking pretty decent. This is looking pretty decent in here for the JPY. It's looking pretty good. I think the last time, what was it, last year, earlier last year, or something like that? Is it earlier last year or was it earlier? Yeah, earlier last. Yep, it was earlier. Earlier last year, I identified this big move right here about to happen off of GBP. You could tell that GBP and Euro were both preparing for a huge move against Bitcoin. That the chart actually showed something in it that it had not showed in a long time, and it was using my QTD. I did not trade it though, which would have been freaking phenomenal, phenomenal if I had. Uh, but JPY ain't looking bad right now. It's not looking bad at all. Um, really these three right here are actually these two GBP and the euro. Those are my favorite two right there. The rest of them, not so much, not so much. Oh, and that DXY chart that I was like I was saying, I hadn't had to change anything. Like I actually put this in here back in 2024. It was 2024 when I put this little box in here, and it's been like this ever since. So you can see right here with the dot. That's why it reads previous year low, because it was 2024 when I drew out this zone right here for the DXY, and we've just stayed within this consolidation range right here ever since, not being able to get back above those 2024 2023 lows in here thus far, thus far. And this was 2025. So this line right here had to have been newer, but this zone in here where we've been, the little breakdown that we got through there, back test and bounce up. Once this leaves this zone right here, which it doesn't look like it's going to do anything anytime soon, these two usually recover all the way back to the top at least, uh, back into here. So maybe once, which can take forever, you know, can take forever. They usually, will tap in there about 3 times at least. So this would be the third tap up there for GBP, and then the third tap in here for the euro. That'll be coming in soon. If something decent was happening in here, I would be doing something, but they're both sideways consolidating right now. USD, Chinese yen. Yeah, but just mainly Bitcoin and a couple of things in the stock market. Let me see total two. I haven't looked at total two in forever. See, this is really old. This was done. I can't remember the last time I talked about this. For total, you don't have to really change a lot because it looks just like Bitcoin, and either way it goes. Last time I pulled that out, it was back in 2025 or something. So I know this information in here probably changed unless it came from a year old, a yearly chart. It must have came from a yearly chart. The reason why it's still standing on business, it had to come from a yearly chart because otherwise it would be no good. I was gonna do that, but no need to do it. This had to have either come from the weird thing is USDT dominance looks exactly the same way too. All three of them, USDT dominance, Bitcoin when it initially got the breakdown, but not the extreme follow through on the ascending Rodman formation. Like all of them all have the same pattern formation, which is weird in itself. Let me see where oh, not that. Let me see where I took that from. Let me do this one thing so when I do it, it doesn't. Let me take out the other part. Because it may have come from, maybe it may have come from a 3-month chart. No, it actually came from a monthly time frame. And since then, no, did it come from this monthly time frame? And since then, it has moved. Let me just be sure. Yeah, I think it came from the monthly time frame, and since then, it has moved off a little bit. No, it doesn't look like it adds up with this monthly time frame for the was it 2 week? It wasn't 2 week. I can't figure it out. I'm not gonna move it because whenever I did it, it made sense that it would come back into here. Um, and then if it dropped lower, then that was gonna be max pain on it. So I don't know. On a monthly right now, it suggests that that would be the low, or at least the bear market low for altcoins is probably in. And if it did come down, perhaps it sweeps this low right here into this level, maybe even expand on it a little bit. But max pain is that 699. So hopefully this is it for it. You see more of a bounce. 104 trillion. I don't think none of this stuff is important anymore. 4 hour. I'm gonna get rid of that right now though, because it's only useful on higher time frames. Uh, this might not be the chart template I was using. I think that's part of the problem right now. I wasn't actually using this template or this window for the analysis on total two. Yeah, I couldn't have been. I know we covered Bitcoin dominance. Which doesn't look like it's going to kick the can anytime soon. I think we looked at, is that on the monthly? Yeah, needing to fall below here. Needs to fall below 58.35. Respectfully drop below 58.35 before there's any sort of a meaningful drop in Bitcoin dominance. Otherwise, it's not changing. It's not changing at all. It's just not. And times are different. Times are absolutely different for it. And I never look at it on the lower time frames. It's just noisy down here. I don't see Bitcoin dominance cooling. Not right now. Not at all. Yeah, SPY was getting a reaction just the same through here with Bitcoin at this VWAP. I think this is where we need to see it hold. I don't have any fibs or anything like that pulled out, but I think that this is, yeah, coming into where it needs to hold. I was just looking at this high around here, especially with the previous day low sitting right here. But I still say they're going to come up and take out that liquidity right there. Let's see if we just blast through there. This is exactly it for that 1 hour. If if this 1 hour is going to hold in here and then turn back around and then attempt at a Bollinger breakout to the upside, it has to at least be able to hold that previous day low and maintain from here for that move up, because it just came back down into it right here. That's what I was saying. Like, it has to be in this zone right here. So it has to hold right through here. If it doesn't, then maybe we have to look at potential expansion to the downside. Which the 4 hour just don't look like it. But I mean, we shall see. We shall see. Let's see. Just the only thing with that 4 hour is the same thing that we I was saying, like, look really messy in here on the 4 hour over the weekend is right here. But we're back above this important key level right through here. We got back up, well, on the uh, on the rejection, the initial rejection right there. Um, we're back above here, still below. This isn't EMAs, but if you were using the EMAs, be below the 200 still. That was the thing that we were talking about in here. I can put on the, yeah, that's, let me make sure that's, yeah, that's the EMAs right here. So with the EMAs, we're still below the 200. So still below the 200. But we did manage to reclaim the 400, which was also where the original VWAP from the low was located at as well, before we got this breakdown right here. And so as long as they continue, uh-oh, forgot I can't lift my finger. I never use that. As long as we continue with that right in here, it's going to do that. I just don't see any way around it. It's going to do that. It better hold up right here, though. That golden pocket top right now, it's needed. It's needed. It needs to hold that golden pocket top. Needs to hold the golden pocket. The previous day low needs to be held. I think we back on the bandwagon with Spy too. I think we are. I think we back connecting with Spy. So you can see how we got the rejection. I mean, we was at VWAP too, so that's another thing. Which again, I'm not interested in shorting that VWAP because they keep attacking it. They're gonna break it. They're gonna break it. So and then you see Spy in here with the recovery attempt right now. Hmm. Triple Q's. Triple Q's trying to get a breakout. 24-hour chart. Let me see if it was showing on the daily as well. It's showing on this 24-hour chart. And it's trying to get a breakout from this point. So right now it needs to eat its own tail, which means it needs to eat back into this candle low right here, about 720. Otherwise, I have to delete this little trend line right here. In the meantime, this little trend line right here on the Qs could be a back test into it, but it's definitely trying to go. I don't think I saw that on anything else. Okay, SPY. Mess with the Dow. Okay, and it's not doing it over here. The NASDAQ. NASDAQ hasn't even taken this high just yet. That's reactive before it even gets to it. This is what I mean by eat its own tail, because it tried it right here too. Right here, it tried it, failed. So it gap down right there. It has to eat its own tail, which this one doesn't have to eat its own tail. Just a clear rejection at the highs. See this ridiculousness through here. This ridiculousness through here. Unless it's an extension, which it could be an extension. In which case, how is this drawn out? It's not. Oh man, that made me think about something I needed to look at. Because I noticed it. Noticed it over the weekend. How low is that low? It's 54. Let me just check something. Yeah, that looks good. That still looks good. I was trying to see how low this one had to come in order to break. Well, see where the disconnect would happen at, which would probably be about 28,900 would be the disconnect right back into here. So if it does actually roll down off of that, then that would be it'll probably bounce by the time it did something like that. So either that 29 to let's just say 250 or somewhere right in here, it would probably bounce. I wouldn't look for it to come all the way back down here. That's going to be awkward for it if it starts tapping into this a lot more. Be awkward for that rollover, even though it has the bear div, is probably just an extension to the upside on that. But something that did cross my mind was Walmart. Wally. Which I think I deleted that chart. I think I deleted all of my Wally World stuff. Yeah, I changed it all. I deleted it. I know the information will still come up if I do it. I don't know if anybody recalls this, how much I despised Walmart pumping, considering that I know, I mean, from a retail perspective, there was no reason for Walmart to be pumping. Like, prices are high as crap. Nobody's really at Walmart buying like that. You got DG, who had a great earnings report, and even Dollar General started to stall out. Why is Walmart still pushing up? But back then, I called for a top on this thing. It did it the first time. This was back in here. It was around 135. And then you can see we came back up again, back into that same level for that rejection. And I absolutely despised Walmart. And I started looking at possible places where this thing might start to stall out a little bit in here. I'm just really looking at liquidity levels through here right now. I was trying to see if maybe it would reclaim back in here, because if it did that, then gravy, for some sort of a bounce back in here to the upside. But this is, yeah, I absolutely did not like Walmart. And you can't stop something from pumping, right? I think I even tried to short Walmart at one point. I can't remember where it was at then. It might have just been right here. I remember Walmart had a broadening formation in here. I remember talking about that broadening formation on Walmart, and I think I gave up. And yeah, back in December, I talked about the shooting star on Walmart. And I gave some targets in here. How many targets did I put in here? I put a lot in here. So I can't say that I actually called anything on it. I can't say that I did. I think at that point I'd given up, but was looking at some areas in here where it might not be able to advance, um, which is a very difficult thing. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. It's very hard to, when something's in price discovery, unless you're using a fib extension, which sometimes they might respect it, but no fib extensions being used in here. Just trying to find where the disconnect might take place. And so it was actually February. And I was saying that it still looked okay, but I would come back in and update you, because it just looked like trash. So this was back in February right here. I did a couple of posts on it actually. This was the last post that I did on Walmart right here, just highlighting that this is a bearish formation right here. Like, this is what USDT dominance has on it. You saw total two has it on it. Bitcoin had it before it actually got the breakdown. But it's a lot of ways to, it wasn't calling for the top, but definitely just stating that markets, participants feel like prices is overpriced. When you start seeing this broadening top formation in here, they feel like it's overpriced. I know I felt like it was overpriced. Like, it just doesn't. It's senseless to me that Walmart would be. I know Walmart is the largest retailer under Amazon, actually, but it wasn't making sense from a retail standpoint personally. When I look at my finances and look at Walmart, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, they should have a hiccup with their earnings. They should have, but I gotta look at to the downside targets and stuff like that now. But that was there, and this is why I came back to look at it like, not really getting it too much. And we had just hit that first one down there. I think I tried shorting it right through there. I may not have had the best success. Apparently, I didn't have the best success off of it. Uh, for Walmart. This is when I was really irritated with Walmart. I really didn't like it. Every time I could find something bearish, I tried, and then I had to give up. See, I got failure. Dang it, we failed. We failed, and then we had the bear div in here on the monthly time frame, and this thing just kept going. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. I was on a Walmart rampage, looking for this thing to fail. Eventually, you're right, but nah, I couldn't. I could not get. I couldn't deal with this thing. So I'm gonna flip my bias here soon. Even though this sell-off just started happening through here, I'm gonna flip my bias soon, especially if it gets back above this 120 in here. I would say that this thing still is gonna get another bounce. Right, yeah, right around in here. So if it reclaims back above this 120, it might be something to look at for Walmart. Love for Walmart to come back down to here. That would be nice. Because when you break something, that's usually what you're looking for. Something like that. 24-hour. Look like what? Yeah, that's what it is. When I was looking at this over the weekend, it was like if it gets back above this 120, kudos, because it's not here. It's not here. But I'm gonna give it some time. Even if I decided to drop it lower, it's still not. I thought I put a line in here on it because this was where it bounced from the last couple of times. I thought my line could have disappeared. I don't know. Sometimes if I do it down here, it will. Um, was it this right here, or was it this right here? Hold on, let me see. This starts right in here. So this starts right here. That starts right there. So this move here begins here and pushes through bullish divergence down there to it. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. I see it now. So it was this right here. So if it reclaims back above this 120 right here, it's a good entry because of here. So this is a baseline for it right here in terms of momentum to the downside. That's the baseline for a bounce back up on Walmart. So I'm starting to flip my little bias in here, which might not be good. Usually when I flip, it's not good. But I like that, which means that, yeah, theoretically momentum is still inclining. I'm gonna drop this line right here at this point. Let me see you. All right, so the alternative would be, I say it reclaims back above this 120. I don't see a world where it actually drops down to here. I don't see that world. So I'm just gonna put that to the side. No, actually, I'm just gonna delete it. I don't see that. It's right here. So if you see it reclaiming back above that 120, you can see it's already showing that it might be a bit extended in here. And not that, these little indicators don't always work, but they can hit really good, especially on, because markets most of the time they're going up. So they can give a lot of information, but my criteria is going to be getting back above that 120.39, which is a couple of some change off. Some change off. Um, Otherwise, it hits into here, which would be too much. I think, yeah, it would be too much. This looks perfect. This looks perfect for that bounce off of Walmart. I think I think we held above. Could have sworn I put some stuff in here on Walmart. It's weird. Could have sworn I did. Trying to see what that 50 retracement. Yeah, no closures below that. So this little order block. I say it's gonna get up from here. That's my personal view. I say it's gonna bounce back up. That's what I say. It could be just back into these lows right here. It could be back into here. But whatever it is, it's gonna reclaim this today. And see a bounce up on that was the monthly time frame, or was that the weekly? That was the weekly there. That was the weekly there. You can see the same thing right in here. Like this is gonna go back up. So yeah, when you look at it like this, like it's still so overvalued. In my opinion, it's still so overvalued. It's that same bear div, but none of that information is showing up right now. It's that same bear div that not the same bear div. Yep. That's the same bear div that I highlighted back in December 31st of last year. December 31st, 2025. That's that same bear div right here. And then you can see how it put in the smaller bear div right here between there and here. It put in a smaller bear div right there. But I was like, this is absolute nonsense. How does this thing keep pumping? And so that's that same bear div right through here. And then, yeah, like I said, it put in a double bear div. Another one right through there. So it'll come back up a little bit. It'll come back up a little bit here for sure from where it is right now. Walmart. I should have never deleted my original weekly picks. I should have never deleted it. but it is what it is. It's gone. Surprised I don't have Walmart at least. Let me add it right there. How do you not have Walmart in the lineup? It's crazy. It's crazy. Then it was. Let me get rid of some stuff in here now. Cyclical. Hedge. Recession. J&J. PG. Extra. Ready, new mount. New mount. It's gold. Exxon Mobil. It's a good call on Exxon. 382. 382 bounce. It's already happened, so no bear dibs on the weekly. And another push to the upside for this one. Yeah, whatever this one does, it's going to give another pop-up. Chevron. Yeah, still looking for Chevron to complete a move all the way up into here. Well, at least that's what I was looking for ever since last year, was for it to continue up and into about 300. It's been struggling for a little while in here now, though. On this one, you can see where it did get the breakout at right through here. LNG. It's not on anything that I will be watching for. I don't know why I got these lines in here. Maybe I'm looking for it to come back into here. I don't have any notes. No, I don't have a note, so I don't know why I got these lines over here. It could be that. I'm looking for it to come back into here. Something looks off right here. I don't know. Archer and Unilever. And that's silver. To look at that one. Caterpillar been killing it. Uh, if you don't know, cat has really started to break out of this. Hold on. I forgot this won't show up right on here. It won't show up right. Yeah, for some reason I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. But Caterpillar had been seeing rejections through here every time it came up. But the last time we had a target in here, it did work out, and Cat got that drop right here. So we had some extended targets in here for Caterpillar if it did get above, the trend line through here. You can see the little circles that I have in here, how it tends to respect this trend line through here. If you're into Caterpillar, it's a little bit too pricey for me. A little bit too pricey for me. But it tends to pop up above it and then swing fail this trend line right here. To upside, pop up, swing fail that trend line. I would add it if you have the capital to mess with it. It's just coming off of uh, that low there. Been watching this trend line for several months now, and that's what it does. It rises above it, and when it fails it, there you go. Start popping back down below it. It might do it all the way back up here to the upside on Caterpillar, but hold on, let me see. Caterpillar trying to get a little breakout right in here, and it did not do too good. It's not a setup that I would have done, so I can see that already on that daily time frame, and I probably wouldn't have done this one either, but it worked. How about that little tweezer top in here? These were extension levels. I think this is from like a 6 month extension levels in here for Caterpillar that you see us not closing above. And not only, yeah, yeah, which means that on the 6 month time frame, Caterpillar is still trading outside of standard deviation 2. That's what that means when you see it like that. It means it's still trading outside of standard deviation 2. So that's all the way. You can see that. I'm gonna bring it to the front. That way it sits in the front of price action. This candle right here, Caterpillar ain't about to come back that low. I didn't mean to do that with that noise. My bad. I'm gonna hide that. It's not about to come back that low. In order to no longer be above standard deviation 2, we'll have to do that. This chart is an absolute monster. Absolute monster. Still expanding on the 6 month time frame. Still expanding on the 6 month time frame. Ridiculousness. Yeah. So I don't know what time frame I'm doing this extension here from. I have to find it must be a 24-hour chart. I think it is. Daily 24, something like that. Yeah. Something like that. I can put that little trend line back in here. Turn that back on. Like this one won't even come back down and tap into a standard one for years to come, probably. Unless it just gets a crazy freaking sell off. It would have to come all the way back down to here just to come underneath standard one. Have to do that. So take out this low right here, break the ascending formation. Actually, I don't even know if I should continue using this bottom line. Since I'm over here looking at it. Hold on, does that start there? No, yeah, that's literally not about to happen. Not about to happen. I don't see that happening. Here we go. Here we go. FedEx. I don't think anything changed about my idea on FedEx. Just looking for a target. What's that? 509. And that's just based on the breakout that it got last year. I haven't updated the chart at all, so it's still been doing the same thing since I initially started posting on it for these areas in here. Yep, I haven't had to change a thing on it. The last time it was coming up, I was saying to just kind of be careful right in here because it did reject through here a couple of times. So if it comes back into this trend line right here, possible little rejection. I did put this 436 in here, but I cannot remember what time frame I used when I added that extension in here. I cannot remember, so I'm probably going to have to delete it. But that is the measured target, is getting through this 1.618 right here on FedEx. What was the AAA's for? Anyway, I don't really look at that. I'm not going to click on any of these other ones again. I just wanted to see how we're doing. I didn't add that. I'm sorry. I didn't add that one chart, and I do want to add it in here. I do want to add it. So my bad. Yay. FIB. Oh, I did put one in here. It's called IPOs. I'm like, I could have sworn that I put something in here. So never mind. Never mind. I didn't highlight it, and that's why I couldn't find it, because I was looking at, yeah. Let me turn off recession. I don't really need to see that right now. I got to come back and look at that stuff. It was IPOs. That's what it was. That's where it is. So Cerebras right there, Cerebras Systems, and Fervo right here. These are the other two IPOs right here. But when I looked at these, I honestly did not like their chart. I didn't like their chart at all. So you can see these are and I haven't gone through to look at their filings or anything like that either. For these right here, I just knew that I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Look at this. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I don't like it. I don't know why this happened. I'm gonna have to go in and see what caused that. Announces closing of upsize initial public offering. I don't know. But those two, stay away from those would be my non-financial advice, is to stay away from this one and stay away from that one. Stay away from both of those right there. But this one, kiss, kiss, kiss. And then Cerebrus, I would love for this to come down some. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. But I would love for this one to come down. All right, it's about 9 o'clock. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm still here talking. Thank you, Why Crypto YT. Thank you so much. Thank you to anybody else who stopped by to hang out with your girl down to Crypto TA. Again, the channel name will end up changing soon. So just bear that in mind. Please have the bell tick for notifications. I'd appreciate it if you would hit a like on the stream. I really, really, really would appreciate it if you hit a like on the stream. Again, I think that Bitcoin price action is going to come in and take out the highs. It looks very probable that would be the case, especially since we're hanging around there. I do see the 4 hours starting to put in a little bit of a squeeze, so we'll see how they open up with SPY today. So be careful about taking any positions right now. If you shorted that, kudos to you. I'm not shorting right now, especially when they keep knocking on it like that. But it has worked out repeatedly for the short at that VWAP. Again, if you just anchored, just anchored VWAP, just anchored VWAP from this top right here, from that third high right there. You just drop that in there, and then that's your anchor VWAP right here, where price action's been coming up and getting rejected from. Use that in conjunction with this trend line right here. You just take your little ray like this, one there, and that's that line right there. So you can see the rejections right there, just in case it pushes through VWAP and you're like, oh, we're breaking out. No, you have another rejection point, and then zoom out on your higher time frame and move off your lower time frame, because things break on lower time frames and they have no respect on the higher time frame. Okay, it just doesn't add up the same on the higher time frame. We are, again, this golden pocket has to hold above this previous day low. This all has to hold. So if the 4 hour, not the 4 hour, if the 1 hour is to see some sort of an expansion through here from this Bollinger Band. Let me do it like this. Yeah, it's starting to squeeze through here now. If it's going to happen, then it's going to have to hold that golden pocket in order for that to happen. Anything beyond that golden pocket starts to slip that, then it might do it to the downside. Might want to take back what happened over the weekend first. They could, but the daily time frame definitely looks like it's primed for upside. Tomorrow, Thursday. That's how I have to say it to you, because I can't. It looks like it's primed for a meaningful little bounce to the upside based on from what I gathered over the weekend looking at it. It's either tomorrow or it's Thursday, but those are going to be the 2 days. Definitely sometime within the tomorrow begins the mid portion of this week into the end of this week. That daily time frame is going to push up higher. So tomorrow could be a better day, or later today or something like that, for me to actually put like find like an actual entry aside from what we had down there at the low, which was very speculative as it was the weekend. But as money starts to flow back in um, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, you have to skip a day. Um, that It'd be about a lot better for me to give a setup now that stock market is back open. And that's all for me for today. I'll be back later, but later on it will be no, I'm not gonna start that yet. I'm not gonna start that just yet. As I be doing some research, But FRVO, not saying get it because I'm getting it. But we're always looking for some sort of promising new IPO. That could be one right there. And so same goes for Cerberus, but I can't afford Cerberus, but Cerberus could be a good one too. It's another speculative play, but those two IPOs I think are gonna be some winning returns on both of those. Walmart, if you're interested, say Walmart might be getting that little bounce today. Walmart gonna get that little bounce today. Back above 120 for me though. It has to jump back above 120. I think about it, and I'll let you know how my option call ends up going throughout the rest of this week because I ain't got but a few more weeks for it to stand on business. Otherwise, I'm gonna be out of some money. All right. Love and appreciate you all.